to Newsic. Today is a very special episode as I am joined with none other than the musician Billy Monama.
Thank you so much.
Billy began his musical journey in his hometown with the guitar of Mokopane, Mahwelereng in the northern province of South Africa. Billy spent time at the Central Johannesburg College studying music theory, harmony, and ensemble work. Wow. Billy Monama now leads his own band that performs his own compositions and arrangements. He has become one of the highly sought after guitarists, having worked with artists such as Themba Mkhize, Abdullah Ibrahim, the late Sibongile Kumalo, Sipho, Hotstix, Mabuse, and many, many others. Billy, how are you?
I'm fine. Wow, thank you so much. I'm listening to you, go with the biography, and I'm thinking there's a lot more, but we'll talk about a lot more.
But see, I want to ask you about that lot more because I'm pretty sure I read the surface.
Yes, absolutely.
So, please take us through your musical journey. You know, how it all started, what's been happening between then and now, and you know, just everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was baptized with music, you know, from a young age. So now in 1997, I remember this year because it was, I failed my standard at school because I was focusing on the guitar. So I used to even draw it in my books, you know, my classwork books, you know, and they found that the teacher was giving us a classwork and I did not write the classwork, rather I was drawing the guitar.
Really?
Yes, I knew how to imitate the guitar, you know, with my, you know, sing all the riffs and melodies, but I couldn't play it. So now this thing, it starts from inside. You must feel it first before you had it inside you first.
Yes,
you know. So my neighbor used to, you know, host stock fairs. So they will play like the repertoire of Mahlateni, Mahotela Queens, the Abdullah Ibrahim, you know, all that jazz of that time. And I mean the Western Nkosi, the Zexin Nkosi, the big band music. When I get to church, my mother used to go to church, you know, and when I went to church, I saw the guitars. I'm like, oh, these are the instruments. And my neighbor used to play the guitar occasionally. So occasionally meaning that like on Christmas days and Good Fridays, that's when he will play.
Special occasions,
And then he would play it then and then hang it on the wall there. And I'm like, why is he not playing every day? Then I wanted to play the instrument and that's how it began. And I became the most, you know, demanded guitar player at church because I participated in the church choir, you know, the youth choir, and and then on radio back then and on television, jazz music, it was, you know, like it was performed at the prime time. Before they go to news, there will be a new you know, song that will be released, and then they will play it before they go to the news, and then there will be there used to be like television programs like Melody, you name them, and then all those watching musicians performing on the stage, like Felicia Mabuse used to bring musicians to perform on stage. Then I heard about Alan Kwela, the Jimmy Lulu, the Slylo, and I was like, I want to play this thing, and then I'm like, here I am.
Wow. I know that is so inspirational. And what can I ask? You know, I'm sure you've played in many gigs. I'm sure you've played with many people. What has been the most memorable, or some of the most memorable? I'm sure there's not even one.
Well, the memorable one is at the Cape Town Jazz Festival and at the Joy of Jazz Festival. And there's so many. You know, why I say memorable, because I've seen the power of performance and preparation for what I have prepared, you know, getting executed on stage, you know, and for me that is memorable. I remember we had, when we were setting up on stage, we had about 10 people in the audience. I was worrying that, is this gig gonna have people? By the time we played the third song, the whole auditorium, it was packed.
Oh, wow.
So that was, for me, that was, you know, it's my highlight.
Oh no, that's amazing. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing that. In our earlier videos, we had talked about how, it's Youth Month. It's June, it's Youth Month. June 16 is Youth Day. And, in light of that, I was just curious to you as a musician, how relevant, or how has Youth Day impacted you? How does it impact you as a musician?
Well, I mean, it was a drive force for freedom. There were so many movements. I mean, the black consciousness was there. But June 16 was the drive force to the liberation of South Africa. So I'm here, sitting here, liberated because of the people who have compromised their lives, who died for this struggle. But the June 16 people, for example, on the 16th, people, they see it as a public holiday, than commemorating. They see it as a
holiday, like a day to just relax.
Yeah, a day to relax, pride, party.
Get off of work.
Get off work, yes. Because many people, they have. They don't like going to work. So now on that day is a holiday. They're like, I don't
have to go into the office. I don't have to do this. Yeah.
I think they're aware. Others they're not aware because we don't have the same consciousness that what this day means to us. But the youth of then and the youth of now is different. They are different because. We are facing different struggles, and the youth of then, they had their own struggles, and we must fight our own struggles too,
Yes,
So they fought the injustices of the white supremacy, and then what are we fighting for, Tina? We need a substantial and progressive mind in the youth, so that we can have greater leaders in the future.
So that we know what we're fighting for.
Yes. Or else we're gonna just perpetuate what our leaders have become, because our leaders. They are not serving us the way they fought the struggle. They fought for the struggle, but of that time. But now what they're doing it's not in sync.
It's not lining up.
No, it's not lining up. So we need to change that.
Oh wow, okay, thank you for that. For your insight on that. And you actually, as you said, that people take it as a holiday, they don't properly, remember, commemorate and celebrate that day. So I'm curious as to as a musician, as yourself, as the youth, how would you commemorate that day, and how do you think other musicians and people should commemorate that day?
They should commemorate it the same way they commemorate Good Friday. People, they go to church,
they
right?
Go to church.
Yeah. So they go to church, and then and then later on they proceed with their events of the day. So why if they don't go to Soweto? Soweto, stand the candles. Yes, absolutely. Visit the families of people who got affected by this brutality of caused by white people back then. So that's what I would think we should commemorate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now we go there in the morning, just like you go to church.
Yeah.
And then later on you can go and do your other events. So
Would you ever have an event, and specifically for it,
yes,
because I know sometimes I would do concerts myself. So is that something that you would also include in the day?
Yes.
Or in the month?
Yes. In 20, I think it was 2015 or somewhere 2014. I performed a duet with Hotstix Mabuse at the Orlando Stadium. So now the event, it was to remember those who have passed on that day, June 16. So we were commemorating them, and it was special because it was at Orlando Stadium. All the reverends, the pastors, the senior pastors, they were there from the Mosasono, the Rain, you know, they were there. We had candles, each and every one, they had candle, you know what I'm saying? So that event for me, it was meaningful than being at the, you know, Shisanyama or something like that. I have no problem with that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that is meaningful because we are gathering our souls together.
You properly paid respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the day.
Yes. So that's the event that I would want to do,
definitely.
you know, than doing a gig.
Just doing whatever,
yeah, doing that and then youth get drunk and forget about the day.
Oh no! Imagine. Oh no, I completely agree with that 100%. I completely agree. Yeah. And on the note of, you know, you having mentioned your past gigs, I'm curious as to like the projects that you're doing now. Okay, we're very far out of 2020. We're getting through COVID now. So I'm curious as to what are you working on now? What is happening for the next year or two?
Yeah, I work 2 years, I work a year, I work 4 months ahead all the time. I don't sleep because I take music business serious.
Yes.
You know, so I last year before COVID, I received funding from National Arts Council. It was approved in 2019, and then I produced tutorial videos. So now these tutorial videos, they simply teaches one how to play South African guitar, like from Maskanda, Kwela, Mpaqanga, Chitsonga, and African jazz. So now I've invited the masters of each sub-style to give depth in that, and then that was my highlight for 2020. And then I wrote a book. During the lockdown, and it will be published this year. So this year I'm doing a workshop, a 5-day workshop actually, from the 8th until the 12th. I'm doing it at the Joburg Theatre. So it's going to be a 5-day, you know, so these are the kind of things. So I'm planning another workshop in September, and then there will be a launch of a book. So now this book
These workshops, is it for other guitarists?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they are invited to, you know, because when I do workshop at schools, going to schools, you know, to do the workshop, they give me like 1 hour. 1 hour is too little to consume all the information that I have, because I've researched. I lived in KwaZulu-Natal to learn Maskanda, and you know, I lived with musicians who play Mpaqanga. That's when I learned, and you know,
you have a lot of knowledge to share.
Yeah, I have a lot. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I have 25 years playing the guitar, so now it can tell how much music I've consumed and
accumulated.
As well. Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna release my album as well.
Oh yes. Yes, when is that?
That is going to be. I've started with the pre-production, so people they've been asking me, "Where is the second album?" You know, I'm like, "No, I'm gonna do it." But at the same time, I'm doing a music from library. I'm doing library music.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing like 5 different projects at the same time.
I know, that's amazing.
And I don't sleep because now I must finish this project, and then while this one is hanging, I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it, you know, and then go this one, do and do this one quick, because each and every project they have timelines.
Yeah.
You know, so yes.
But you love what you do, so not sleeping is fine.
Yes.
You absolutely love what you do. Oh, I look forward to it. I look forward to all of it. It sounds amazing. It sounds incredible.
Thank you.
You know, I think for the last question that I'd just like to ask you, what words of wisdom would you give to the youth of South Africa? It can be not necessarily just musicians, but just to the youth, you know, in general. What words of wisdom would you like to impart to them?
The youth should focus on being entrepreneurs, and also they must minimize to work with government, because if they work with government, they get captured.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you do work with government, there's something to give. There's always something to give.
Yeah.
How do you become captured is because they give you this X amount of money, and then to return that favor is going to cost you reputation and everything. So now you say, now we give you 2 million, do this project.
Yeah.
When they call you and say, now we want you to do other things that they're not even part of what, you can't even say no because you are captured by what they've offered for you. So they must just stay away from. That is my advice. I know it is very difficult, but for me, my wish is that the youth must stay away from doing business with government because that's where the state capture happens.
They must focus on like building themselves on their own.
Building themselves, and they must go to school, because now to be successful. Because to be successful, you need education and street smart. Because business, it needs both street smart and education. And book smart. So how are you gonna write a proposal if you don't go to school?
Do essays,
something like that. So that's what I'm gonna say to you. Each and every generation, it has its own experiences, but the youth and booze, my goodness, if they can just cut down the alcohol, it's too much.
That's a word of wisdom.
It's too much. If they can cut down on booze, no, man, we can't have a whole nation drunk. No. No, I'm so sorry. I mean, it's not like I have a clean audit. I also have. I had my youth whereby I was hitting very hard. You know what I'm saying? I was getting wrecked, but yeah, man, you grow out of it. Sometimes you grow when time has gone. You don't always have privileges. By the time you become woke, you are 47. So that's what I have for the youth. Yeah.
So they must just cut down.
They must cut down booze. They must cut down the booze.
Yeah. No, but I completely agree with everything, especially being an entrepreneur. I think we're in that time now where it's a lot more possible to build your own business, find something that works, and just run with it. So I completely agree with that. Thank you so very much, Billy, for joining me today. Thank you for telling us about your musical journey. Thank you for imparting some kind words to the youth. I again look forward to everything that you're going to be doing.
Thank you so much.
To everything. And there you have it, guys. That was Billy Monama. I hope you enjoyed this interview. I hope you took some words of wisdom. Cut down. If you want to visit our Instagram, it is it is in the description. Billy's Instagram will also be linked in the description, as well as his website if you would like to contact him. So just look down in the description for all that information. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's right over there. Thank you. Put your questions and thoughts in the comment section, as well as like this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Until next time, bye.